Good morning. Welcome to the National Real Estate Post. We're going to talk with our friend Barry Habib, who's like the most popular guy on the planet to interview right now in the mortgage industry. And I know you want to hear from him, but real quick, just remind you guys, jumbo loans can be kind of tough to do. However, at Oak Tree Funding, they're pretty simple. So if you're in that market, trying to get some jumbos done, purchase or refinance, you can get a really quick quote on their jumbo product. Just click the banner you see right here, Oak Tree Funding. It's over on your right or straight down below. There's a link around here somewhere to get a quick quote on your jumbo product and get that stuff done easy. So with that, let's move right into our special guest, Barry Habib. Again, like the most popular guy to talk to, within the mortgage industry. Everybody's interviewing you. Of course, Fox News, we'll start with that. You were just on Fox where you had a potential little debate there with some guy where you were saying one thing and he didn't believe you. Of course, what you said happened. So let's start there. You issued an alert to lock yesterday, and then let's talk a little bit about, as an originator, how do we deal with this market? Because there's a lot of things that are, need to be dealt with when you're in this type of a rate environment. So let's start with the Fox interview. What happened there?
So a couple of things I said. I said that if the S&P closed below 3019, I said my exact words were, look out below. And that's what happened. We closed underneath there and it was look out below. I don't think the selling in the stock market is potentially over. I think that the coronavirus fears, and not just the fears, the effects will be something that we'll have to deal with as far as slowing down of commerce. That's going to have a real impact on businesses. So that's one side of it. But on the interest rate side of it, the 10-year had just broken underneath 1%, which is, we talked about it. I called that before, and we broke 1%. And then Liz Claman says, okay, so you hit your target, you broke underneath 1%. Where do you go from here? And I said 0.5%. And somebody wanted to debate me on that and said,
there's no way. And it happened.
Here we are.
Yeah. So guys, just so you know, I'll put that Fox News clip down below. So if you look down below, you can see that clip in its entirety. So
well, yeah, we talk about the fact that what you probably should be doing in this marketplace is getting your refinance ducks in a row. Maybe I said this last week that you don't have to necessarily lock in, but get them in there because you have to go through the process. And sure enough, that looks like a good move. Now, we did issue an alert to lock yesterday. This was the first time we had done so in a very long while. We had only done one other one in 2020, so it was only our second lock alert. We played this beautifully, and we've gotten all the gains in there. However, now I'm not saying it can't go down further. This just looks like a bit of capitulation to me. When I saw the Dow was down 2,000, it's the first time for me it felt like that was a negative thing. I was watching on Fox Business, and they were asked, Stuart Barney was asking people, are you buying anything? No. So John Templeton always said be a buyer on the most pessimistic day. That amount of pessimism I have not seen in a while, which prompted us to do the lock alert. Said, hey, listen, just for short term, let's take these gains right now and we'll see what happens. But speaking of gains, and you and I talked about this, Frank, a lot of originators are saying, hey, I see the 10-year, and we discussed the fact that there's a bit of a lag because of convexity buying, but even on mortgage gains on MBS, not necessarily seeing it in my pricing.
Right.
That's just a capacity issue, team. This is just what businesses do when there's excess demand and limited capacity to fulfill it. The only way you really kind of slow it down to meet it is you don't drop margins, you increase margins. It's not a bad thing to do. Your companies need to do that to offset what they're losing in servicing, right? So there's an ugly side of this too, is the servicing runoff is bad. So yeah, they're doing good on originations, but we have to be sympathetic and understand that the desire to drop price, or to increase or improve pricing is the way I should say it, may be held back by the fact that, look, that exacerbates the problem. From already having tough times with capacity, improving pricing just makes it worse. It's almost irresponsible because then your service levels drop. So these are all things that are happening. It's an extraordinary time for most originators. This is something that they may not have seen in a very long time, or may never have seen.
Right.
Go back to a year ago, it was the exact opposite problem. Everybody was talking about margin compression.
Right.
When you and I talked about it, I said margin compression goes away when the capacity is used up, when you have a lot more refinances, and that's what you have now.
Right.
Margin compression is, I got all this ability to originate loans. Let me do them cheap. I just want to keep these people busy. Now it's like everybody's pulling their hair out of their head trying to get stuff done. I've got to almost slow down the spigot And the only way to do that is with pricing.
Well, pricing, of course, is one thing that's gonna slow it down based on capacity, just like you said. The other thing is just the sheer volume is going to slow things down with respect to, hey, let's take appraisals for an example. There's a deal I'm connected to that's going on in Reno, Nevada right now, where they're like at 3 weeks on their appraisal right now. It requires, a lot of times you can get an appraisal waiver depending on the situation these days. But in this case, they have to get an appraisal done. People wanted to close sooner than the contract was stated. And the loan officer up there said, man, I'd love to. It's just, I'm stuck. I'm behind on appraisal. So there's other things that are going to slow things down. I mean, what would you say is the best practice for the originator today? I'm just curious what you think, because I've been in these markets more than once, right? Where, rates are here and they go to here, and then all of a sudden everybody's bombing in. And then you're just trying to, keep ahead of it all. And as an originator, gosh darn it, man, we always say this and everybody knows this. Everybody knows it. You've got to keep your purchase business as a priority some way, right? But we also got to take care of these people, that are coming in, and we got to deal with so many things. My kid, Joey's a broker here in town. And he's like, man, I'm at the office till 9 p.m. every night right now, just trying to get all this stuff done. He's having trouble keeping up. In your opinion, I mean, I know it's just a juggle on everybody's part. You got to deal with it. But do you have any insights on, what the best practice would be with respect to the refinances that are coming in the purchase business?
So there's a lot of things that we have to do, and you hit the nail on the head on so many things, and that's just your experience in this. That's really a great thing to have right now. And so first of all, yes, purchases, which probably are going to be about 30% of the volume out there, has to be prioritized. Your job as an originator is to take the best possible loan you have. Those loans that are out there that are difficult, that are hairy, that are tough, if they're going to clog your system, you got to think a little bit on those. Maybe don't be as aggressive to try and get those refinances that would require so much work. Maybe go after the ones that'll make the system a little bit easier, at least in this time. Can you postpone those till things quiet down just a little bit? The ones that have a lot of hair on them. Focus on the ones that'll keep your system running as best as possible. Take the very best loan you can. Help out by getting everything up front. Set the expectation with your customer that they need to really be sharp. Don't try and tax your system and say, oh, I could save a tiny bit more money if I take a 30-day lock or that. Don't do that. Okay. Give yourself the extra time, because you probably can use that benefit for your company to be able to get these transactions through. Anything that you can do that just is going to be smart and upfront, do the very, very best you can there. Now, when it comes to refinances, the other best practice here is don't just do the refinance. Do not be robotic. You have to be smart. Remember, your job is to be a debt manager. If you took somebody today, let's just take I'll give you some actual numbers because we just saw this before. $500,000 purchase a few years ago. They took out a $400,000 loan as an 80 LTV. If they refinance today from 4.25 to 3.5, they would be able to save $246 a month. Call it $250 a month. Seems like it's great, and everybody's doing that all day long. Here's the thing, is that all of those people likely have debts, and all of those people likely have a lot of equity. If you were to incorporate all those debts and pay them off, I just saw one that we looked at. I'll give you the exact numbers. Was able to save them $1,795 a month by incorporating one car loan and 5 credit cards. $1,795, $1,800 a month saved. But then take it a step further. By taking that savings and not pocketing it and accelerating the payments on their loan, the loan would be paid off in less than 12 years, which is a 15-year savings. Everybody who's doing a loan right now, you're talking to the customer might have in the back of their mind, or they might say, yeah, but I paid 5 years in or 4 years in. Now I'm going back to 30 years. When am I ever going to get off this treadmill, right? So what we can show them is you can not only keep your place where you were, but accelerate that dramatically and save years and build unbelievable equity and use that for retirement, use that for college. This is what you need to do as a debt manager right now. This is a game changer for you. I cannot stress how important this is. And then we take it a step further. And if that guy was going to save, or that guy was going to save $246 a month, you know what? Instead of taking $1,795 of that savings by consolidating debts, save $246, give it to them in their pocket and show them what that would be. And you'd still pay the mortgage off instead of 11 years, 13 years. You'd still create all this benefit. And give them the $246 a month. Just do it smarter. Mm-hmm. This is what you have to do right now. This is your chance to shine. Beat fintech companies. Be smarter. take the cleanest loan out, because all those fintech companies that are counting on customers to supply data without coaching, here's your chance to beat them. Here's your chance to be the very best you can be right now. And in my opinion, this is an opportunity for you. And you mentioned stay until 9 o'clock. You remember, Frank, we talked about this. We talked about this was not the time to play golf. This was not the, I said that to you weeks and weeks ago. This is your time to really kill it here and create so much wealth. This is a great opportunity that you have in your hands right now.
Awesome stuff. Really appreciate it. And of course, you have these calculators for them inside MBS Highway, right?
So, we make it really easy for you to
to display this.
Really easy.
Yeah. You guys get on a screen share with these borrowers. Go, look, this is what I'm saying we should do. Do all this. This is how you like. And I guarantee you, ain't no fintech company doing that for them, right? They're just trying to get the refi. They're not looking at really trying to help them manage their debt in any way, shape, or form.
No, the hourly employee who may be working on a couple of bips or whatever it is does not have this type of capacity, training wise, okay, that you folks can and you folks are able to do. And listen, whatever you want to do on this, you want to do on the purchase side, you want to do an open house, you want to show them what the store, we do that for you. It's included. You want to do a screen recording, it's included. You want to put stuff on social media, we've got a way for you to do that. You want to do it any way possible. You want to compare loans or refinance. We're the only ones that do it right, by the way, and we're the only ones that make it easy for you to do it. We're the only ones with this debt consolidation module that do that. So it's kind of foolish not to be on it. I'm sorry to get on the soapbox and say it, but it's almost frustrating when I see people that are losing all kinds of opportunity and getting beat by fintech when they could just invest a tiny bit in themselves and do ways that'll create wealth. Yeah,
we'll put a link down below to get started. Now, down below, there's going to be the Fox interview. There's going to be a link to MBS Highway. You can get started for free for a couple of weeks. And I just want to end it by saying this. Look, guys, I know, being a guy that entered the mortgage industry in January of 1987, right? I've been down this path before. I know where we are. It's the best of times, and at the same time, it's the worst of times. It's the best of times because you just got stuff falling out of the sky. It's the worst of times because you got to figure out a way to manage it all. Do your best to figure that out. Take Barry's advice, and also find a way to prioritize that purchase business and stay in touch with it, because I guarantee you, if you don't, at some point in time, things are going to change and you're going to be standing around with your jaw hanging open going, wow, I got to start all over again out in the purchase world because I left it behind. So don't let that happen to you.
Don't sacrifice one for the other. You're good enough. You're great enough to do everything great.
You can do it.
Do everything great. Do not do, I can't do this again. You can. You can. You have the ability to do it. Work smart. Just what Frank is telling you here. All this advice between Frank and I can't believe I'm saying we have 70 years practically experience between the two of us. We're telling you this because this is something that we have been through before. This is a great opportunity for you.
All right, you guys have a great one. Thank you, Barry. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great one. Do us a favor, share this show. Click the Facebook button down below. Start a conversation somewhere. Might get you some business. Leave us your comments down below. We always appreciate that. And you can subscribe for free to the National Real Estate Post in your upper right-hand corner. So with that, we'll catch you guys later. Thanks, Barry.
Thank you.
All right, that was beautiful.